We all know the statistic, right? More than 90% of traders consistently lose money. Those who can actually be consistently profitable are truly the minority. And most people still think this is about strategy. Wrong. Almost everyone has access to good strategies. YouTube is full of them. There are hundreds of trading books. The majority doesn't lose because they don't know how to trade. They lose because they're mentally unprepared. They're not even aware that they need mental preparation. They haven't grasped the seriousness of this business. They probably don't even know they're doing serious work. In contrast, the minority doesn't win because they're smarter. They just have a different mental framework. They don't take trading lightly. They're aware of how hard it is and they've found ways to make it easier. 9 specific traits separate winners from losers. Let me show you exactly what separates the minority. Even if you have the world's best strategy, if you have the wrong framework, you'll lose money. This is certain. So what are the traits of high-performing minority traders? Let's begin. Trait 1. How you handle winning and losing streaks. The amateur experiences this as an emotional roller coaster. Won 3 trades? Feels invincible. Crack the market's code and will never stop out again. Then what happens? Stops come one after another. Lost 2 trades? Crashes. Questions everything. This swing from euphoria to depression destroys decision-making. Experiencing such intense emotions so quickly also destroys his psychology. He's not stable. It's impossible to be. He's in constant ups and downs, and this wears him out incredibly. So why is there such a difference? Because they've programmed themselves to evaluate trading short-term. They care about how much profit they made or didn't make that day, not the end of the month or year. Naturally, every trade becomes more important than it should be. If he loses, it's the end of the world. If he wins, he feels like he's accomplished something incredible. And in the winning scenario, when euphoric, you take bigger risks. Skip steps. Ignore rules. Because you're attaching too much meaning to winning. Actually ending one day profitable means nothing. But because you evaluate everything short-term, making profit that day is enough to convince you that you don't need to follow your rules. The exact opposite happens when you're depressed. You freeze or revenge trade. Because you're focused on saving that day, not your discipline in the dozens of trades ahead. You have a short-term perspective and it's sabotaging you. We should always look long-term. At minimum, we should think about the trades we'll take this week, not just the trades we'll take today. No single trade should be the end of the world. We shouldn't attach more meaning to any trade than necessary. Both kill your account. So what does the professional do? Stable, flat, neutral. 3 wins? Good, that's probability. 2 losses? Also probability. He knows he's sitting down tomorrow to do this again, and this will continue like this forever. So winning or losing can't change his approach. Because if it changes, he can't stay loyal to his system. If he can't stay loyal to his system, he'll definitely be pushed out of the game. Because he's seen this happen countless times. He's made this mistake countless times. So he doesn't even question it anymore. Winning or losing today doesn't change this. This emotional stability doesn't come naturally to pros. It's built through data collection. By proving to yourself over hundreds of trades that your system works and random results mean nothing. Imagine you did 1,000 trade backtest, and you recorded every detail of this backtest. The backtest finished and you took these 1,000 trades over 5 years. Let's assume you achieved 397% growth in these 5 years. So what's the result? You have a successful system. It's that simple. But while doing this backtest, you also saw this. Even though you achieved such growth as a result, at one point you stopped out exactly 12 times in a row. And you know this. This can happen. But the result doesn't change. At the end of 5 years, you got what you wanted. That's why you managed to stay calm even in an extreme consecutive stop-out situation. Because the data in your hand told you this could happen, and you were prepared for it. You must be prepared to give the right reaction. You must be prepared not to change plans along the way. If instead of doing all this preparation you just try to apply in live markets, of course you won't be able to act confident enough and you'll violate your rules. Test your system retrospectively and make sure it's profitable. See that there are times when you stop out consecutively and be prepared for every situation. Let's move to the second trait. Trait 2. Impulse control. The amateur trades on impulse. The biggest amateurism is trading your impulse like it's a strategy when you don't even have a strategy. Let's be honest, this is one of the biggest mistakes you can make and it makes no sense. This is acceptable if you've only been trading for 1 or 2 years, But frankly, after a point, you must have a mechanical strategy. Otherwise, there's no logic to you playing this game. To be honest, you're leaving your work completely to chance. Try different strategies, explore and find. Backtest and choose the profitable one that suits you. You can't get anywhere with impulse. Don't fool yourself. On a day when you feel bad and it's unlikely you'll act healthy, what can you do right with impulse? Is this sustainable, really? Let's not fool ourselves. You must have a mechanical and objective system. The one moving with impulse sees something moving, feels FOMO, enters. No checklist. Or he's bored. Forces a trade. Or he lost, wants it back immediately. All impulse. And impulse trades lose because they're not based on your edge. The professional never trades on impulse, only trades his plan. If the plan says trade, he trades. If it says wait, he waits. What he feels doesn't matter. He's taught himself to recognize the impulse and not act on it. Feels FOMO? Acknowledges it, then doesn't trade. Bored? No problem. Boredom isn't a reason to trade. This is a learned skill. You build it by catching yourself and choosing not to act, again and again. Trait 3. Self-awareness. The amateur has no idea what's happening inside his head while trading, just reacts, takes emotional trades without realizing they're emotional. The professional constantly monitors his internal state. Am I calm, stressed, angry, overconfident? And when he notices he's off, he stops, doesn't try to overcome it. The amateur realizes he was tilted after the damage is done. The pro catches it before the trade. This comes from journaling, from reviewing your emotional state every day. Your emotional state definitely affects your trading career, so you must be aware of it. You must know yourself and notice what behaviors you exhibit in which emotional states that will sabotage you. This way, when you notice you're starting to enter such emotional states, you protect yourself from possible disasters by staying away from the screen. Be aware of your emotional state and observe yourself constantly. If you notice before the trade, not after, you can prevent disasters. Trait 4. Identity. The amateur approaches trading like a hobby, chasing short-term thrills, wants the rush, the lifestyle. Jumps straight into live trading. Small account. Big dreams. No preparation. Approaches like a gambler. The professional approaches trading like a business, slowly building wealth, consistently. Knows most days will be boring. Knows he'll spend more time waiting than trading. And he's at peace with that. Because boring and profitable always beats exciting and broke. If you see yourself as someone chasing excitement, you can never stay still. But if you see yourself as a professional building a business, patience becomes easy. We're doing a job, and let's be honest, jobs are mostly boring. It's that simple. You may have enjoyed it quite a bit when you first started. That doesn't mean it should always be like that. Trading is a job and requires seriousness. Are you here to do work, or is this your hobby? I think decide right now and act accordingly. Trait 5. Where confidence comes from. The professional's confidence is stable because it's data-based, knows his win rate, knows his system has been tested over hundreds of trades, knows 3 losses is normal variance. This data-backed confidence is unshakable. If you haven't achieved this yet, you haven't done the work. You haven't collected the data. You're trading with hope. Fix this. Build the proof. I'm repeating this because it's very important. If you don't have data in hand, unfortunately, you're rolling dice. That's what's really happening. You may think your system is profitable, but based on how much time's worth of data are you saying this? 6 months? Sorry, you need more. First job, obtain at least 5 years of data, and make sure you're trying to operate a system you're sure is profitable. Don't decide this by commenting. Let the data decide for you. Go and test. Then you'll continue trading. This is something only people who do their work seriously and grasp the market's seriousness will do. If you're not serious, I'm sure you're not backtesting. You don't have yearly data for a specific strategy. Please never skip this step. Dedicate a few hours every weekend to this and collect data. The data will tell you whether the path you're going is right or just a dream. Don't leave your work to chance. Don't roll dice. Trait 6. Focus and concentration. Well, one of the most important ones. If you really want to do your work seriously, this is not up for discussion. Stay away from all distractions during the time you're trading. The amateur trades with distractions everywhere. TV on. Phone ringing. Kids running around, watching a stream on his other monitor. constantly listening to loud music, multitasking. The professional trades in silence, phone off, TV off, door closed. When in a session, that's all he's doing. 100% focus. Trading requires full cognitive bandwidth. If your attention is scattered, you make mistakes. The professional is aware of this, gives his attention only to trading. The amateur acts like this has no importance. This is a job and requires seriousness. So do only one job at a time. And when you're trading, don't engage with anything else. Trait 7. Risk management discipline. The amateur either has no system or can't follow it. Knows he should risk 1%, but this setup looks good, so risks 3%. Knows he shouldn't move stops, but does it anyway. Every violation increases catastrophic loss risk. The professional never violates his risk rules. Never. Same amount every trade, never moves stops, no exceptions. Why? Because if you manage risk properly, you can be profitable even flipping coins. Risk management is more important than your strategy. Lock in your rules, never break them. Don't leave your work to chance. Don't say this looks better. You can never know how anything will turn out. Stop acting like you can know. Don't fall into traps of thinking you've solved the game. You haven't solved the game, and you don't need to solve it to make as much money as you want. Don't believe in holy grail stuff. If there's a holy grail, it's risk management. Applying a data-proven profitable strategy with proper risk management is the only thing that can be called a holy grail. And being able to apply it properly depends on you and your psychology. If you want to stay in this game, care about your psychology. Don't bend risk management. Every time you bend your rules, you're actually telling yourself it's normal not to be disciplined. Don't bargain here. If a rule was set, there's definitely a reason. After all, you're the one who set the rule. Finding it illogical the next day is your brain trying to deceive you. Don't listen to it. Apply. Don't bend your risk. Trait 8. Strategic clarity. The amateur has no clear strategy. Trades based on feelings. Makes it up as he goes. The professional has a completely defined strategy. Knows exactly what he's looking for. When to enter. Where the stop goes. Everything is written. No ambiguity. No room for emotion. Having a strategy is the minimum requirement. But even with strategy, most fail. Why? Because traits 1 through 7 are wrong. Strategy isn't enough. Strategy plus mental discipline is needed. I won't drag this out because we've constantly talked about this. You must have a mechanical and objective strategy. This is not up for discussion. If you don't have one, go and get one. Then you'll handle the rest. This is the most important detail. Anyone who skips this step is rowing for nothing. Trait 9. Confidence source. The amateur's confidence comes from emotions, from recent wins. Feels confident, so trades confidently. Losing? Confidence evaporates. The professional's confidence comes from data, from proof, from hundreds of trades showing his system works. Facts don't change based on today's results, so his confidence doesn't either. First, build the data, prove the system, then trade with proof-backed confidence. The amateur's equity curve? Chaos. Random spikes, random crashes. No clear direction. Trending toward zero. The professional's equity curve? Steady upward slope. Consistent compound growth. No huge spikes or crashes, just steady progress. These 9 traits in action. You can see someone's mental framework just by looking at the results over time. Risk management deserves its own section. You can flip a coin for trade direction and still be profitable if you manage risk properly. Heads long, tails short. Completely random. If you risk small and let winners run, you still make money. Risk management creates asymmetry. Lose small. Win big. Most traders do the opposite. Win small, lose big. Have 60% win rate, but still losing money. Bad risk management always beats good strategy. Never risk more than 1% per trade. Never move your stop. Set it based on structure and leave it. 10 losses at 1%, 10% down, recoverable. 10 losses at 5%, 50% down, devastating. Mental preparation before risking real money. First, accept this is a process. You won't be profitable in 2 weeks or 2 months, maybe not even 6 months. This is normal. Every professional went through this. Adjust expectations now. You're building a skill over years. Second, do the work. Paper trading, backtesting, data collection. Minimum 3 months before live trading. No emotions with paper trading. Just focus on execution. Collect data on everything, hundreds of trades recorded. Data should show the system is profitable before going live. After doing this, if your system is profitable, you'll trade trusting it and won't question your plan. You'll manage not to be affected even if you stop out consecutively, because you tested your system enough. But if you don't test enough, you'll stop out 5 times in a row and start thinking, I need to switch to another strategy. The real reason is short-term thinking, meaning you didn't do long-term backtesting and data collection. Third, journal your emotions. Not trades, emotions. Write how you felt every day, anxious, excited, frustrated. What triggered it? You can't fix what you can't see. After a month, you'll see your patterns clearly. I always overtrade on Mondays. I always revenge trade after losses. See the pattern, address it. You'll see you start matching your emotions with your results. And this will tell you when to act and when to stay away. Fourth, meditation. 5 minutes before trading. Sit. Focus on breath. Mind wanders. Bring it back. This trains the exact skill you need, noticing when you've lost focus and bringing it back. In meditation, back to breath. In trading, back to rules. Same mental movement. You'll catch yourself before emotional trades. Wait, I'm feeling FOMO. This isn't my setup. Return to rules. That pause is what meditation builds. If you feel your emotions pushing you to rush, breathe. Remind yourself you won't act on it and let it pass. Finally, understand this. Trading is you versus you, not you versus market. Market doesn't care about you. Your enemy is your own mind, your emotions, your impulses, your ego. Market provides opportunity. You either take it correctly or don't, and whether you take it correctly depends on your mental state, following the plan, or emotions. Plan wins, emotions lose. Make ego the slave and plan the master. Ego wants to be right. Plan wants to be rich. Pick one. The consistently losing majority isn't stupid. They're psychologically unprepared. They have strategies. They have knowledge. But they don't have the mental infrastructure to execute consistently. Execution is everything. The profitable minority isn't smarter, more disciplined, more self-aware, more emotionally stable. They've built these 9 traits. They trade the same strategies the majority has. But the majority can't execute them properly because they skip the mental work. Technical knowledge is 10%. The other 90% is psychology. So stop looking for better strategies. You don't need more knowledge. You need better psychology. Build these 9 traits. Do the mental work. Prepare properly. Execute your plan without emotion. Do this for months, for years. Join the minority that consistently profits. Not because you found a secret system, because you became someone capable of executing the system you already have. Market doesn't reward the smartest traders. It rewards the most disciplined traders. Be disciplined, not smart. Discipline wins. Every time.